I'm going to be going to the University of Winchester to do a BA in musical theatre in September, which isn't that far off, so I'm freaking out a little bit, but I thought if anyone else is going to apply there in the future, it might be nice to know. So we travelled up to Winchester the day before and we ended up staying in a travel lodge, and once we got up there I was really excited because it had started snowing. And I mean, it's England, it never snows, especially down in the southwest. So I had a bit of a photo shoot and that was fun. And we went out for dinner at a beefeater. I mean, I ate way too much, but that's not the point. And then the next day we got up quite early. My audition didn't start until 12, but we got up at like 8 and we headed into Winchester because we hadn't actually found the university yet, so that's one thing that I would definitely recommend you do. Like the day before, maybe go and find the uni, but we didn't have that much time, so we just decided to get up early and try and find it. So we went there and we got there ridiculously early. Found out that we couldn't get a parking space up at the uni, but that's something that you should do in advance. You need to book parking if you want to park on site, otherwise you have to park down in the town. We went back into town to get like water and a snack because you've got to take those with you. But we stopped at this little cafe called Josie's? It's Josie's because it's just like the person that I've just been in a banter with. And they had like eggs benedict but with chicken. Oh, I love chicken. Anyway, I had that. I couldn't finish all of it though, it was huge. And obviously I had to do an audition for musical theatre, which is quite physical, so I couldn't eat the whole thing, otherwise I would not have been able to do it. So for the audition, I needed to have 16 bars of 2 songs prepared. We were given the piece about mega musicals for this one, and we had to read it and form our own opinion of it and be ready to discuss it as part of our interview with a couple of other people that would be auditioning on the day. And we were to take part in a movement/acting workshop. We were split into 2 groups after having the whole welcome to the uni talk, and we had a tour around the campus. I was in the singing group first, and then other people went to do the acting/movement workshop first. In the singing workshop, we had to give our sheet music to the pianist and basically say what kind of tempo we wanted. To give him an idea, we would just sing about 4 bars so that he could work out what kind of speed we wanted it. The 2 songs that I chose to do was I Don't Know How to Love Him from Jesus Christ Superstar and Fight For Me from Heathers. And I mean, I was fairly confident with both of them, but as a person that used to struggle quite badly with stage fright, I was nervous as anyone would be. Winchester was the university that I was looking to get into from the start, so if I got a place there, I would take it. So we had to sing them, and I mean, it didn't go perfectly. My voice did freeze up a little bit at one point, but I think because I managed to push through, and I accidentally sung the 3rd verse instead of the 2nd verse at one point, but I just continued and kind of improvised my way through it. And I think being able to think on the spot like that did help. Otherwise, probably wouldn't have done well. It went well. We went down the line and everyone sung their 16 bars, and they would ask us to do parts of it differently. For example, I was asked to kind of put an action to every single word. I mean, it's tricky thinking on the spot like that, because you always think you're prepared, but you're never prepared for what they throw you in like the audition space, because that's what they're aiming to do. They're aiming to see if you can think on your feet. We switched around. We did the movement workshop, and we just started off with certain things like, oh, what's your favourite musical? Which tool? I said You're in Town at the moment, because let's be honest, I've got hundreds of different musicals, but right now, because I saw a production of it up at the uni in where I live, it's kind of stuck in my head quite a lot, especially the Cop song. I love that song. We went around and then we were saying what our least favourite show is, which it's hard to pick, but I had to pick Frozen. I don't know, it's just not something I'm a fan of. I get that other people are, and some of the songs are catchy, I'm just not really a fan of it. We had a lot of different improvisation things, like he would put on some music and we would have to just go with what we thought would be happening. If there was a movie of our lives and that was the soundtrack, what would be happening? And he put on a really kind of like Die Hard song, and I'm pretty sure I relived like a bootleg version of Die Hard, and I got way into it. I was like crawling through a air vent and like just crawling along the floor. You've got to have fun with it, otherwise you're going to be nervous. And it's all about seeing how you deal in those situations. We finished with going into our kind of group interviews, which is where we had to discuss the piece of text, which was about mega musicals, and our question was, do we think that Hamilton would be considered as a mega musical? It can be argued either way, so it was interesting to hear. We had a tour around the entire campus first, then we went for a talk where they kind of ran us through all of the different modules that would be happening throughout the year, and then we had the 2 workshops, and then we were done. I had to race home to try and catch rehearsals because I was meant to be going to rehearsals that night. I did end up making it, but oh my god, we drove fast. I was on my UCAS like for the next few days, like refreshing the page, hoping to hear back, and I got a place. And then a couple of days after that, I received an envelope saying, congratulations. Anyway, I got a place, and then you're sent like this pack where you have to deal with accommodation, you've got to apply for it, bursary and stuff like that, blah 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 blah. Today in the mail I get this tiny little box, this little Winchester box, and it just says a little something from the University of Winchester. I really struggle opening this box. Ah! You get a little highlighter, and everyone that I've been chatting to on the group chats has been getting different colours, but I got blue. And a pen with University of Winchester written on it. It did have a chocolate bar and it said eat me and be happy, but I mean, it got eaten straight away, I'm not gonna lie to you. And a little postcard just saying like, if you need to chat, just message me. And it came with this little notebook which I have decided to use for video ideas. So, Ginny. My dog is so loud. I'm using it for videos. I am using it for video ideas. It also came with this lovely bit of origami paper for us to make our own phone stands, but I don't know how to do that. It feels nice to have had a confirmed place at uni, especially the one which I wanted to go to all along. I think my experience in auditioning has been quite different to others though, as once you've got a place, you're kind of pushed to join group chats and try and track down the other people that you're going to be in a course with. So I found other people, and in some of the other auditions apparently not everyone was as enthusiastic, because maybe it might not have been their place that they wanted to go to, so they didn't try as hard. I've heard of things like the teachers making people run around the room because they weren't putting enough energy into it. But the thing is, if you're going to go for a course in musical theatre, you need to be prepared to put your all into it. Another one that I've been talking to is someone called Tyrrell. I really hope I've got your name right, sorry. Who is overseas. So they auditioned with a Skype chat. And at first they had a bit of a confusion because they mixed up their time zone with like the British time zone. I feel like that would be a lot more scary, possibly, because it's like one-on-one and you're on a video. So it's a bit daunting knowing that like this person is just watching you. I enjoyed the audition. I had fun. I think it definitely could have gone better, but I don't think it went badly. When I first started this, I didn't really know what I was doing, but this uni really does help with any of your questions, and they send you a lot of information about everything that you need to know. Everyone that I met from the uni was really friendly. I even checked out the Musical Theatre Appreciation Society, you know, the MTAS big group chat on Facebook. If you put in there and you can find people in any course, I would definitely recommend that. For any university, if you're looking for it, try and find opinions of people that aren't just ones that know you. Find people that are going to be unbiased when they tell you what it's like. It's worth reaching out. I would definitely say that. So I'm going off to uni in September.